Hello, I'm Charlie Brooker, and welcome to So Wrong It's Right, the show that claims some things are so wrong, they're right. A funny concept, which, unfortunately, according to my lawyer, is not a valid legal defence. It's the panel show where saying the wrong thing can earn you points, unlike in the real world, where it generally just results in a stony silence that's ultimately just another cold nail in the coffin of your failing relationship. Still, let's keep it light. My father always said I'd be a failure. Throughout my life, I've worked hard to overcome that stigma, and it's only now, as an adult sitting here, looking into the faces of our audience and our panel of guests, that I can say finally to him, yeah, Dad, well done, you were right. Anyway, let's meet tonight's guests, who are planning to snatch defeat from the jaws of themselves. We've got Richard Herring, Lisa Tarbuck and Jack Whitehall. First round, is called Wrong Time, Wrong Place. I'll be asking my guests to dust off the skeletons in their closets in an attempt to out-wrong each other with belittling and embarrassing stories from their own sorry, insignificant, meaningless, fleeting and, quite frankly, disgusting little lives. Sorry, I don't want to judge you. But that's clearly what I've just done. Anyway, this week's theme is excuses. What's the worst excuse you've ever given? There's going to be a point for the best worst answer. He started it, my PE kit's in the wash, and I left my bag on the bus are poor excuses for school kids. Jeanette Cranky is another. The Nazis were big on excuses. Goebbels famously said, the bigger the lie, the more people will believe it, which is rubbish. The student loan company didn't believe it when I phoned to say I couldn't keep up the repayments because I'd recently died at the Battle of Hastings. Lisa, what's the worst excuse you've ever used?
Well, I used to, when I was quite skint and Mum and Dad went out but didn't take Dad's car, I used to siphon petrol out of his car into my Mini Clubman. This
is not the glamorous showbiz life I was expecting.
Dad kept us on quite a tight leash. So I had a Mini Clubman. Now, obviously, there's no boot that you can hide things in. So I've got the rubber coil. Now it's become something of a habit.
What, you can't start a car without stealing petrol?
Well, no, I can't leave the hose anywhere that Dad will find it because it reeks of petrol and I've got quite paranoid about it. So I just leave it in the boot of the car. But it's not a boot because you can see it. So I get stopped by a policeman who asks me what the rubber hose in the back of the car's for. Because as far as he's concerned, it looks like it could be something that would be used to siphon petrol off. And I told him, it is. Smell it, it is. Because what I do of an evening is siphon Dad's petrol off when he goes off to work. And he doesn't know. And he's gone, yeah, all right. No, I do.
But that's not really an excuse. That's the truth. That's a reason.
I turned it on its head. I could have given him an excuse, sure.
Did he sniff the hose?
It
sounds wrong. Did he sniff the hose?
No, Charlie, he didn't.
Did he buy your excuse?
He whisked me away. He'd had enough of me and my big grinning face, daring him to sniff the hose.
Was it that weird psychological trick you can do?
Yeah.
Like, there was a friend of mine I heard about who was walking through Reading late at night, which can be dangerous, and a guy came over to him and said, "What's the time?" And he looked at him, told him, and then the guy said, "Thanks, give me your money." Right, and he realised it was a mugging situation. And instead of giving him his money, what he did was he turned his palms up like that and stared into his hands and started going, "Spiders! Spiders! Spiders everywhere! Spiders!" And the mugger ran away. Good advice, good thing to know about in life.
Mad.
So what you had done...
Three times out before you get shot in the face with that one. As a warning.
This was in a happier time. Yeah. Jack, what's the worst... Yeah, the lamest excuse you've ever...
Well, the lamest are always the same. Like, I mean, you know, oh, sorry, miss, the naughty dog ate it. I never got asked back to babysit. But, other real ones that I've told, because my big thing at school that I always got really annoyed about, and I don't know why, I shouldn't have got that upset by it, but the fact that, because I was never good at any sport and I wasn't very athletic, and I was rubbish, and I hated, like, gym and swimming and all of that, girls, every time, women's problems, no one questions it. if you say women's problems, you don't have to do gym, you don't have to do swimming. And
They do if you're not. If you haven't hit puberty yet.
well, no, but at a certain age, like that cannot be questioned. So my big campaign was for men's problems. That's what I want. So I had this thing where I was like, no, I don't want to do swimming because I have men's problems. I have an issue standing in a shower next to someone that is more
Developed,
yes, because A, it makes me feel inadequate, and B, it's weird that it's the art teacher. That's why I'm not swimming.
No, I agree. I think that the changing room is a terrible thing. It's like, because when you're at school, those are your workmates, essentially, isn't it? It's like there's not many. If you've ever worked in an office, there's not many incidences where you'd have to strip off in front of everyone else there, because you can't. Of course, you're going to look at what everyone else has got going on. I saw a drama documentary several years ago about a dirty bomb in London. It was like, what if a dirty bomb went off in London? And the most astonishing thing was they called all these workers out of an office and made them strip off and hosed them down. And I just thought that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? Like, that would be the one upside of a dirty bomb, is you'd get to see your boss's bum. Richard, what is the worst excuse you've ever used?
I remember when I was at infant school, it was always embarrassing to go to the toilet for a number 2, let's say. So you would always try and not... There was always a stigma attached to that.
I think there still is, as far as I know.
So a little bit. And so as a 6-year-old, I really needed to go to the toilet. And I actually, to the extent that I was so embarrassed to go to the toilets, that I actually just went in my pants. And I was wearing little, shorts at the time. And I was trying to get away with this. Obviously it was quite difficult because there was a smell. And I remember the other kids going, what's that? There's an odd smell. And I went, and we were in the classroom, and I said, yes, I think there's a naughty dog outside. And that was my excuse. And they believed that. They were 6 years old. They were stupid.
So you claimed that a dog standing outside
had done a poo so foul that the stench had come into the classroom.
It's not naughty for a dog, though.
It's not naughty anyway, really, is it? It's just hideous.
It is naughty. It's quite cute. I was a child at the time. I don't know if I made that
clear.
Not a dog. I wasn't just the teacher.
Were you punished?
No, I ran to the toilets and then I hid in there until my mum came to pick me up.
That's quite a feeble excuse,
Thank
but
you.
not. But I mean, quite creative to have blamed it on an invisible dog outside the building. That sounds like the sort of thing a serial killer would do. I think that was the son of Sam's defence. Genuinely, he said that his
dog had told him.
He blamed it on a neighbour's dog.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that the most feeble excuse has got to be Lisa's, because it wasn't even an excuse. It was just a reason. So, that's a point to you, Lisa.
Thanks very much.